Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) announced plans to approach the Islamabad High Court after jail authorities again barred Imran Khan's family from visiting him at Adiala jail, despite court orders allowing bi-weekly meetings. On Tuesday, Khan's sisters Alima and Noreen Khan, along with cousin Qasim Khan, were either denied entry or left waiting for hours before being turned away due to expired visiting hours, according to PTI. PTI Secretary General Salman Akram Raja said the party will formally write to the IHC Chief Justice on Wednesday, calling out repeated violations of judicial directives. Addressing a press conference, Raja dismissed rumors of any back-channel talks with a U.S. delegation and criticized the government's inconsistent conduct and disregard for court orders. He also raised concerns over judicial independence and declining investor confidence, calling it a symptom of deeper governance issues. 2 levies personnel assigned to protect a polio vaccination team were shot dead on Wednesday in Balochistan's Mastung district, marking another tragic attack on Pakistan's polio eradication drive. The assault occurred in the Tiri area, with one officer dying on the spot and the other succumbing to injuries en route to hospital, according to Assistant Commissioner Akram Hariful. Law enforcement agencies swiftly reached the site and launched an investigation. In response, security has been ramped up for vaccination teams across the province. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif condemned the killings, calling the attackers enemies of humanity and reaffirmed the government's firm commitment to ending polio. Balochistan spokesperson Shahid Rind also pledged a full investigation and stronger protective measures. The attack comes just days after a similar assault in South Waziristan, highlighting the dangers faced by frontline health workers. Pakistan and Turkey have jointly renewed their call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, as Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif met Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during his official visit to Ankara. Both leaders reaffirmed their unwavering support for the creation of an independent Palestinian state, based on the pre-1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. President Erdogan lauded Pakistan's consistent and vocal stance on the Palestinian issue, calling it one of the strongest responses globally to what he termed as genocide in Gaza. The 2 leaders also emphasized the urgent need for unimpeded humanitarian aid to reach the people of Gaza amid the ongoing crisis. Their joint statement underscores growing international concern over the humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in the region and the shared resolve of both nations to push for peace. India has suspended the Indus Waters Treaty with Pakistan following a deadly attack on tourists in illegally occupied Kashmir, which killed at least 26 people. The move was announced on Wednesday after a high-level security meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism.
Indian authorities blamed cross-border links for the attack, although no conclusive evidence has been presented and no group has been officially held responsible. A little-known group, the Resistance Front, is said to have claimed responsibility. The attack, which took place in Pahalgam, a popular tourist destination, was the deadliest on civilians in the occupied region since 2000. According to witnesses, the attackers targeted men while sparing women and children. In addition to suspending the 1960 Indus Waters Treaty, India has ordered the closure of the Attari border post, given Pakistani nationals in India 48 hours to leave, and declared defense personnel at Pakistan's High Commission persona non grata.
The integrated checkpost Attari will be closed with immediate effect. Those who have crossed over with valid endorsements may return through that route before 1 May 2025. Pakistani nationals will not be permitted to travel to India under the 𝐒𝐭𝐲 visa exemption scheme visas. Any SVES visas issued in the past to Pakistani nationals are deemed cancelled. Any Pakistani national currently in India under SVES visa has 48 hours to leave India.
Islamabad has denied involvement in the incident. Pakistan's Foreign Office condemned the attack and expressed condolences to the victims' families. Defense Minister Khawaja Asif called the incident a false flag operation and reiterated that Pakistan is the last country to support terrorism, given its own history of suffering from it. The suspension of the water-sharing agreement, facilitated by the World Bank and honored even during wars, has drawn strong reactions. Pakistani leaders, including Senator Sherry Rahman and Fawad Chaudhry, criticized the move as a violation of international law and an attempt to weaponize water. Pakistan's National Security Committee is expected to meet Thursday morning to discuss a response. Meanwhile, tourists have begun leaving the occupied region, with airlines arranging extra flights from Srinagar. A shutdown has been observed in parts of occupied Kashmir in protest against the killings. Security operations continue in the Pahalgam area, and Indian forces say they are pursuing the attackers. The Indian government has pledged a loud and clear response, but questions remain over who was responsible for the attack and how it occurred in one of the most protected zones of the occupied territory. Efforts to revive Ukraine peace negotiations stumbled after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio abruptly canceled a planned trip to London, prompting the cancellation of broader diplomatic meetings. The absence highlighted mounting tensions between Washington, Kyiv, and European allies over how to end Russia's ongoing war. U.S. proposals, seen as favoring Moscow, such as recognizing Crimea as Russian and barring Ukraine from NATO, have been flatly rejected by Kyiv. Ukrainian Deputy PM Yulia Sviridenko reiterated that while Ukraine is open to negotiation, surrender is not on the table. Talks continue at a technical level, but disagreements over territorial concessions and sanctions remain major hurdles.